Hi my friends, I wanted to do a quick video today about what I call the grievance room. And I guess I should introduce myself in case you don't know. My name is Rhonda Ferguson and I am an identity theft restorer. I teach people who they really are and their purpose in this life to free and empower them. So yeah, this grievance room. So in helping people forgive, there's something I noticed that I think almost all of us go through. I certainly went through it when I was separated from my husband. We were separated for like a year, and I held on to these grievances, these things these offenses, and when you continually hold on to the grievances, it keeps you at a distance from this person. Even if you're with them, in your heart, you're not completely with them. So what I have noticed, and I wrote this out because, again, this is not of me. Like, God gave me a lot of instruction and guidance in this. But the first thing that I realized was that we place faith in holding on to grievances because the pain of unforgiveness feels less painful than the pain of the unknown. And I'm going to explain that. But let me read it to you again. We, or I should say our egos, well, actually we, our mind, body, spirit, place faith in holding on to grievances that the ego causes, because the pain of unforgiveness, and it's tormenting to not forgive somebody, but the pain of unforgiveness feels less painful than the pain of forgiving that person and entering into the unknown. Okay, so the next step I realized in this whole thing of grievances or holding on to them is that it provides two things that I hear over and over in helping people. And the first one is that it provides this illusion of protection, that if I do not forgive you and I hang on to these grievances and these offenses, it keeps you kind of in bondage or enslaved to me. And that other person is always like trying to work to prove their love, their loyalty. And what I notice is people, when they're holding on to grievances and they're believing in the protection of it, is kind of like this mindset, like, if you're constantly having to prove to me that you love me, then you're not going to go off and cheat on me again, or you're not going to attack me again, you're not going to hurt me again, because I've always got you in this place of trying to be a good person, trying to prove your loyalty to me. So it's like this illusion of protection, okay? And then the other thing I notice with holding on to grievances is that we gain an identity in the grievance. We have an identity of, I'm a victim, I'm rejected, I'm angry, I'm whatever. And although it's a tormenting place to be, at least you have an identity, right? I mean, you know who you are, you know what your life's about, you know what you're doing, and you feel some sense of control, which is really an illusion, but yeah, you have this like false identity and hanging on to grievances and bitterness and unforgiveness. So in order to get out of that room, the key is forgiveness. But it's really hard to take that key and open that door and walk out, because it requires a lot of faith in God, number one, to provide that protection and not the grievance anymore, not the ego anymore. You got to fully have faith that God's going to protect you, that even if the person does hurt you again, that you're going to be okay, you're going to get through it. But you also, when you leave that that room of grievances, you're really leaving behind your identity of being this bitter, angry, resentful person. And now it's kind of like you feel like, I won't even know who I am, who this person is, how I see the world, what I'm doing, what my future is going to be. Like, there's so much fear the ego will wrap you up in and keep you like, no, I'd rather just stay here and be pissed than step out and trust God. And but I will promise you, because I've been in that, it took me like a year to leave that room. But once you leave it, like, oh my gosh, the truth is, you find out who you really are. You're this amazing, loving, powerful person. So your identity, God totally reveals your identity, and you start living that out, and you actually step out of fear. It's insane, because you build up in your mind like there's so much fear outside that door right there. I'd rather just stay in here, but really there's not. There's so much freedom. And what is the last thing? And so the last thing is that what I notice is people that are trying to just stay in the grievance, in this room of grievance. If you picture this room I'm in right now, like, I'll just stay here. Yeah, it's miserable and I hate it, and it's causing so much stress and anxiety on my body, and I hate my life. But they don't want to forgive either, because that's like the most terrifying thing, to step out that door. They don't know what's out there. So they try to like create boundaries in this room, or they kind of just resolve like, oh well, like, I'll just try to forgive them a little bit so I can live with this person or deal with this person. This is just my lot in life. Or they're like, I can't forgive. I won't forgive. And so then they'll just end the relationship. So it's either they try to set up boundaries in this room, or they just kind of try to forgive a little bit so they could function with this person, or they're just like, peace out, I can't forgive you. And the problem with all that is that even if you move on, you still take this room with you, this prison with you of unforgiveness and bitterness. And therefore, even if you decide you don't want to be around this person anymore, you don't want them in your life, you still need to forgive them to set you free. And that's another huge problem, is that people that are hurt, it's really hard, or if you're hurt to the core, like, and if you're hurt over and over by this person, like, the ego will say, I don't want to forgive them because it's setting them free. But really, it's really you that's being set free. You get to leave this room, and you get to go on with your life and have peace and joy and happiness. But it all takes a faith and trust in God that He's got you. You have nothing to fear. I promise you. I'm on the other side of that door now. I have been for a very long time. And I could just tell you, it just gets better and better and better, and it's wonderful. There's who the Son sets free is free indeed. Like, God is in you, and He gave you the power to forgive, and He gave you the power to trust Him. So I just encourage you, if you're in a grievance room, you're holding on to grievances and unforgiveness and bitterness because that's what you're putting your faith in to protect you, I promise you, it's just slowly destroying you. And just leave the room. Just forgive the person, let it go, and let's move forward with your life. I hope this was helpful. I will see you on the next video. Love you guys.